Good morning, everybody. My name is Matt Ruin. I'm the chair of the LPC Programming Committee for this year. I want to add my thanks to everything that Melanie just said. This event takes a ton of work by a ton of people to pull off, and we've got a fantastic program this year. I also want to thank two members of the program committee who aren't able to be here. John Bull at Valparaiso and Liz Scarpelli at the University of Cincinnati were unable to make it to Vancouver, but have put in a ton of effort, and thank them the next time you see them at some other conference. I also want to thank Simon Fraser University not only for hosting this event, but also for very generously sponsoring our keynote talk this morning. It is a pleasure, and it's very exciting in our first International Library Publishing Forum. It is my great pleasure to introduce Dr. Arianna Becerril, the co-founder and executive director of Redalyc, chair of America, she's also active in DOAJ and a lot of other organizations. We have a lot that we can learn from Arianna's experience and the organizations she's involved in. I'm really excited to start learning. So with no further ado, please join me in welcoming Arianna.
Thank you, Matt. Thank you, Melanie, for this invitation, for giving me the opportunity to be here today. I'm delighted to be here. And I would like to take this opportunity to talk to you our perspective on how academia, non-profit, scholarly, and library publishing leverage with semantic technologies could be a good strategy to achieve an inclusive and sustainable science communication ecosystem. First of all, I would like to begin with something that is not really something very sad, but I believe that the current and prevailing science communication system has failed. It has failed because it is not making science a global and participatory conversation. And I'm talking here from a developing region perspective, of course, but I really believe that that science is not promoting an equitable participation of every countries and every regions of the world. Besides, I believe that 17 years after the Budapest Open Access Initiative, we should recognize that the goal has not been achieved. We have witnessing increasing open content, but the whole goal hasn't been achieved. And the ways to attain the goal have been ignored in many ways. And even more, we have witnessing the last decade an increasing control of the knowledge production circuit, for example, by companies like Elsevier, for instance. We have also seen the publishers' good financial health. So it seems that this initiative and all open access initiatives doesn't inflict any damage to those companies. We have also witnessed a rise in the restrictions on where, when, or how to deposit, and I'm talking here about institutional repositories. So the landscape is not, it's not good enough. And if it was not enough, we are in the middle of a crisis due to research assessment mechanisms in many countries. It's critical to understand that the journal impact factor, for example, has a number of well-documented deficiencies as a tool for research assessment. That quantitative metrics cannot replace qualitative evaluation, nor can make the contributions of local research visible. And we have also to think that the best ranked publications are usually for-profit, and the research assessment system reward researchers to publish in them. So this is not something that benefits the communication, scholarly communication worldwide. So we have to think about several key aspects, I believe, one of them is property, for example, because there is no guarantee that when it is open now will continue open. And we have seen different acquisitions of by commercial publishers of open access platforms and open access content. So the appropriation of the open access is something very, very sad, especially if authors do not hold copyright, that in some cases is happening. We have to think about sustainability because we have to guarantee that open access is sustainability is guaranteed at least at long term. We have to think that initiatives like the ones I'm representing here, Redalyc, America, and others, have a sustainable long-term survival. So it is something that we face every day, and we have to be creative to do that. And also, we have to think about research assessment, as I said before, because assignment is not always fairly assessed. And we have to think about new forms of exclusion that are emerging in response to this flipping of a pay-to-read to pay-to-publish strategy in many regions. So we have to double think about this. The control of science is and will continue in the hands of corporations, and this is not good because we know the majority of the published science is in hands of a few corporations. Countries, academic institutions, and the research community do not have any control within commercial agreements. So from Latin America perspective, we wonder how could a region like this could participate in the global scientific conversation when restrictions are only shifting from reading to publishing. Really, is this the most creative approach we as a Gregorian society could design? We cannot forget that large publishers are too big to fail companies. So that's why they are considered natural monopolies. And that have acquired a market power that impedes competition. This is the reality right now. But we are in a different era where information and communication technologies enables the stage for breaking that power. And this is where we have a very huge opportunity to make a more equitable landscape. So ICT has a potential to redraw the landscape and bring new possibilities for other models to be competitive and even disruptive. This is where our perspective is mainly focused, because scholarly-led, community-driven publishing could be really competitive if we really think seriously about it and we also leverage with technology. The question here is, will we be prepared for it? As Jean-Claude Guédon rightly pointed out, the cost of communication scientific research is a tiny fraction of the cost of research. So why should we ask that particular phase of the research cycle to obey financial rules, while the overwhelming part of scientific research has to be constantly subsidized, especially in developing regions like, for example, Mexico and the countries in Latin America that are subsidizing publishing? What role will the academic play to face this challenge? What will be the role of libraries? I think there's a crucial opportunity here. And let me give a general panorama of the Latin American editorial tradition, just to give an example how our region is focusing on scholarly-led publishing and how we can be better in achieving science as a common good. Latin America has created and maintains a non-commercial structure where scientific publications belongs to academic institutions and not to large publishers. Every institution supports journals that are driven by researchers, by professors, by faculty members, by students doing trainees stays at editorial teams inside the university. So everyone gets benefit from everyone else's investment. A fee has been included for authors, neither for readers in this regional editorial tradition. If we look at the ecosystem of open access in Latin America, we can see in the base that is composed by hundreds of publishing institutions, mainly universities and scholarly associations, that form a scholarly-led scientific publication system, which is non-profit and mainly public, funded by governments or by public budgets. So above this, we have a very remarkable contribution of the open journal system, for example, a software that could that have been helping all this scholarly-led publishing to be available online, to reach quality standards, to improve the peer review process. And above this layer, we can find several platforms like Redalyc, Cielo, Latindex, Claxo, La Referencia, several platforms that provide complementary capabilities to the base, to the journals that are provided by universities. So in this layer, we can find these platforms that are providing services of visibility, edition, validation,